whatever, we wish you the best. It's been a privilege to have you on our youth commission, to have you give your opinion and work with the other youth commissioners and strengthening your personality, what you can do to bring forward to the board every night that you're here. So we appreciate the time that you put in to study the board materials and to discuss it with your fellow commissioners. Good luck in the future, and we have something for you. And then I'd like for you to say, you may want to introduce us with you here tonight.
Tonight I have my mom and dad here with me, Joe and Tara Phillip. So I just want to say thank you so much to the Youth Commission for having me be present for all of my high school experience. And it's been really an honor to work with our great town's government and to kind of get to see a different side of the process than most people normally get to see. So I just want to say thank you so much to the whole board and to the Youth Commission and to Amanda for helping me have a great experience with the Youth Commission and getting this whole new look at town government that I would otherwise never had to get. So thank you so much.
I think everyone just got a little flavor of why she was on the Youth Commission and what we have to look forward to in leadership coming from Charlotte down the road. So we hope you come back to Grange Park when you're done with your studies and hopefully serve on the board and be a part of this community. You can probably do it right now. So on behalf of the board, Charlotte, we'd like to give you the certificate of appreciation. Thank you so much. You know, it's amazing when young people like Charlotte come up here and they have the passion and the calm to speak in front of a group and on TV and in front of the board like you just did. It's remarkable, and it shows your strength and leadership and your personality. So congratulations and good luck.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so next we have public participation of agenda-related items only, if anyone care to address the board. Moving on, consent agenda. Amanda?
The items on the consent agenda are as follows. A, approval of minutes, village board meeting, May 22nd, 2018, work session meeting, June 12th, 2018, executive session, June 12th, 2018. B, action prevailing wage rate, motion to adopt an ordinance ascertaining prevailing wage rates for construction work in Cook County. C, action motion to authorize the president and chairperson of the finance committee to sign the register for bills and authorize the treasurer and village clerk to sign checks in the payment of operating bills and salaries as itemized in the check registers. And D, motion to authorize the village treasurer and village clerk to sign checks in the payment of payroll and other bills that become due between this date and July 24th, 2018, with subsequent approval of the payroll register and voucher register by the Board of Trustees at its regular meeting to be held on July 24th, 2018.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So move.
Second.
Amanda, call the roll.
Trustee Messick?
Yes.
Trustee Rocco?
Yes.
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Zora?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Amanda. Next up, village manager's report. Julia?
Thank you, Mr. President. I have just one item to report this evening. We will be reconvening the Commercial Revitalization Committee to meet. Our target timeline for that meeting would be sometime in July. So staff will be reaching out to the members of that committee for workable meeting dates, and we'll get that on the calendars. And with that, that's all I have to report this evening.
Thank you, Julia. Administration Committee, Trustee Lautner.
Thank you, Mr. President. This evening I have a couple of items, 3 items to report on. First is regarding the village's new website. Our village has launched its new website in late May. The site is packed with important information on village news and regulations to ensure residents and business owners understand and have easy access to all the village has to offer. Our website offers user-friendly features such as the ability for residents to sign up for special notifications and alerts, easily locate financial information on the village through the transparency portal, and to review past village board and committee agendas and minutes through the Agenda Center. If you have a question, Check out the How Do I Find Out Certain Information section for a quick and easy way to find the answer to the most commonly asked questions. Still need help? The appropriate village staff contact is located on each page of the website for your convenience. Need to report a concern or request for a service? Click on Report a Concern and staff will follow up with you directly. Our new website is fully compliant with the ADA, American with Disabilities Act, making it easier than ever to use for those with visual impairments. We invite all of our residents to spend some time familiarizing yourself with the new site, which is located at www.lagrangepark.org. Second item is regarding the village stickers and the dog licenses that are required by July 31st. Our residents are reminded that the village vehicle stickers and dog licenses must be purchased and displayed prior to midnight on July 31st, 2018. Renewal applications were mailed to each home in early June. To renew your license, please correct any incorrect pre-printed information on your renewal application and return it with payment to the Village Hall for processing. If you have not received a renewal application, blank forms are available at our Village Hall. Vehicle stickers may be purchased at the Village Hall during regular business hours or purchased online from the village website at www.lagrangepark.org. And the last item is a reminder that our village offices will be closed on Wednesday, July 4th to observe the Independence Day holiday. Regular office hours will resume on Thursday, July 5th at 8:30 a.m. And that's all I have to report this evening, Mr. President.
Thank you, Trustee Lautner. Building and Zoning Committee, Trustee Zora.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to report the building department activities for May of 2018. 120 building permits were issued in May compared to 94 last May. The village has issued 393 permits through the end of May compared to 329 the end of May 2017. Estimated construction costs and permit fees collected for the month were both somewhat down compared to last May. 112 inspections were conducted in May compared to 125 in last May. 5 were not approved. The interior renovation work at PNC Bank was completed this month, which included some new interior office spaces. As expected with the change of seasons, there was a substantial increase in complaints and activity regarding property maintenance code enforcement. Inspections were conducted and the village issued a business license and temporary certificate of occupancy for Poster 31, the new restaurant at 1017 East 31st Street. Most of the demolition work for the H building at CSJ took place during the month. Work of the site will continue through the next year. And that's all I have to report. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Zora. Engineering Capital Projects, Trustee Lautner.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have a couple items to report on this area as well this evening. Work on the village's 2018 paving program by K5 Construction has progressed significantly. Curb and gutter and driveway replacement on the streets not in front of the schools was completed, and the initial layer of asphalt has been placed on approximately half of the streets. All construction activities in front of the schools will be performed between mid-June and mid-August to minimize our interference with their operations. Some landscape restoration has already occurred. However, the balance of the work may need to wait until weather conditions moderate in the early fall. Second item is regarding Arrow Road construction has completed all the preparatory work needed for the installation of the final layer of asphalt on the Harding Avenue project. This project is being administered through the Illinois Department of Transportation and funded jointly by the state and our village. We anticipate all work, including landscape restoration, to be completed on this project by mid-June. And last, our office is currently working on preparing specifications for the 2018 village-wide patching program. This project will follow the typical village bidding process and be brought back to the Village Board of Trustees for discussion and possible award in June. And I believe that's all the items to report on from this area this evening, Mr. President.
Thank you, Trustee Lautner. Public Safety Committee, Trustee Messick.
Thank you, Mr. President. We will start with the Police Department summary of activities for May of this year. Total number of crimes are similar to last year, with 105 reported this year compared to 108 during the same time frame of the previous year. Traffic enforcement is also similar to last year, with 2,543 total citations written year-to-date compared to 2,539 from May of last year. Total police activity is at 4,366 for total incidents this year compared to 4,280 from the previous year. Mark calendars for upcoming police department special events. Tuesday, August 7th 7 p.m., National Night Out held at Memorial Park. It's always a great event. Wednesday, August 22nd, 2018, at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., Coffee with the Chief and staff at Plymouth Place. And Thursdays, September 13th through October 11th, we'll have the Citizen Police Academy in the Village Hall boardroom here. And as a reminder, always lock and secure your vehicles, garages, and homes when you are especially not around. Also, always keep valuables out of sight at all times. Do not become an easy target for any possible crimes of opportunity. And that concludes the Police Department report. On to fire. EMS incidents this month were 136. There have been 669 year-to-date compared to 713 last year. Fire rescue incidents this month were 45, and there have been 194 year-to-date compared to 203 last year. On May 18th, 4 of our personnel were recognized at the Loyola EMS Systems Award Breakfast for the care provided to a patient whose condition rapidly deteriorated and the assistance they provided the hospital emergency room staff in restoring the patient's pulse. Fire department applicants participated in a physical ability test during the month. 12 of the applicants' names were then forwarded for background investigations and are currently working to schedule fit-for-duty medical evaluations and physicals. On May 3rd, on-duty staff and the fire chief provided a presentation to the Citizens Police Academy participants. We provided an overview of the fire department operations, EMS equipment, treatment, and some fire safety education. On May 4th, as part of Aging Well Month, we participated in a panel discussion regarding aging in place at Bethlehem Woods, focusing on personal safety and well-being. Staff provided EMS coverage for the Run for the Roses on May 19th. On May 27th, personnel participated in Memorial Day weekend remembrance ceremony displaying a large flag over the event that was hung from our new ladder truck. 2 of our paid-on-call personnel, Andy Chorley and Chad Ropp, graduated from the paramedic school in May. We congratulate them on successfully completing their near year-long journey. And that concludes the fire and the public safety report. There are no action items.
Thank you, Trustee Messick. Public Works Committee, Trustee Messick.
Thank you, Mr. President. We will do Public Works report for May of 2018. Tree maintenance, trimming, and inspections was performed during 73 regular hours. 5 diseased trees were removed by Public Works staff. Brush pickup began the first full week in May. Crews made multiple passes through town, spending 119 hours and picking up 238 yards of brush. 123 hours were spent delivering mulch to residents throughout the month as they requested it. 36.5 regular hours were spent on the maintenance of public works equipments and vehicles. 42 hours were spent filling potholes and patching water excavations with approximately 5 tons of asphalt. 1 catch basin was reconstructed and repaired. Street sweeping continued, spending 72 daytime hours. 175 miles of village roadways were swept, collecting 54 yards of debris. 175 day shift hours were spent on building and ground maintenance around the public work facility, Village Hall, and along 31st Street. Staff planted summer flowers at the Village Hall. Work orders were completed with crews removing roadkill, making sign repairs, and attending to resident concerns. There was various repairs and preventative maintenance on public works, police, and fire vehicles during the month. And then on to the water department operations. Over 399 day shift hours and 15 overtime man hours during the month of May were spent on maintenance and repairs of sewer and water mains. 32,430,000 gallons of water were purchased from the Brookfield North Riverside Water Commission. 1,482 water meters were read in Section 2. 53 monthly accounts and 23 final meter readings were taken. Various inspections, appointments, and service calls were performed. 4 water sewer inspections, 7 meter appointments, and 25 service calls were performed. 15 water bacterial samples were taken. 201 utility locations were identified prior to excavation. 1 water service line was repaired. 1 hydrant was installed, and there were 8 Buffalo box repairs. And we do have 2 action items. Let me get to first one being Sherwood Road resurfacing project. So the purpose is a construction engineering agreement with Edwin Hancock Engineering for the 2018 Sherwood Road resurfacing project as being presented to the board. This year's budget includes the 2018 Sherwood Road resurfacing project, for which the village engineer, Edward Hancock Engineering, will provide construction engineering services. The construction portion of this project is joint funded through IDOT 70/30. As part of the funding, the village pays for 100% of the construction engineering. The fiscal year 2018-19 budget includes $156,000 for the village's share of construction costs. This line item includes funds for the construction engineering. The actual construction expense to the village is now estimated at $85,000. So I would like to make a motion authorizing the village manager to execute an agreement between the Village of LaGrange Park and Hancock Engineering for construction engineering services for the Sherwood Road resurfacing project in an amount not to exceed $36,500 to be spent during fiscal year 18-19.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion, trustee Messick?
I think it's all in order. This is something that's a big benefit to the village because we do have the matching funds, so I'm all in agreement.
Any other comments from the board? Seeing none, Amanda, call the roll.
Trustee Messick?
Yes.
Trustee Rocco?
Yes.
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Zora?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, then there's on to the 2018 Spring Tree Planting Program. The purpose is to approve payment of $17,395 to the Suburban Tree Consortium for the purchase and planting of 55 trees. As a member of the Suburban Tree Consortium, the village has selected Wilson Nursery to provide parkway trees for planting. Furthermore, the Suburban Tree Consortium membership provides the services of the landscape contractor Pugsley and LaHaye for delivery and planting of these trees. During the second week of June, 55 trees were planted throughout the village. In the fiscal year 2018-19 budget, there is $20,000 budgeted in the general fund for this purchase. 16 resident tree purchases of $3,650 offset a portion of this bill. Staff does recommend approval of this payment, and so I would like to make a motion authorizing payment of $17,395 to the Suburban Tree Consortium.
Motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion, trustee Messick?
It's all in order. We have had the work, and it was done well, and I suggest we pay it.
Any other comments from the board? Trustee Lautner?
Thank you, Mr. President. I just did have a question as to how many different varieties are we planting?
I think this round we had 8.
8 different, okay.
Yeah, we mix them up spring and fall and rotate them
I'll
around.
try to avoid the elm and the ash syndrome
Right.
as much as possible. Right. Thank you, Mr. President.
Any other comments? Seeing none, Amanda, call the roll.
Trustee Messick?
Yes.
Trustee Rocco?
Yes.
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Zora?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
And that concludes Public Works report.
You have one
We have
more.
one more.
I'm sorry. I missed it. I'm sorry. Oh, here we go. Staff is 2018 patching program, various areas in the village. Staff is seeking the board's approval to award a contract to the lowest responsible bidder for the 2018 patching program, the various street areas. Based on a visual inspection of the roadways, a list of areas was put together for pavement patching with funds available in the 2018-19 budget. The project will address those sections of the worst pavement on streets that are not slated for repaving with the bond proceeds. The street areas are identified, will be ground down 2 to 4 inches and asphalt overlay put down. This will reduce further deterioration and extend the street life so it can be entirely resurfaced at a later date. Hancock Engineering prepared the necessary bid specifications for the project, and the bid opening was held on June 19th, 2018, and the lowest responsible bidder is M&J Asphalt. In this fiscal year, the village has budgeted in the road funds fund, streets resurfacing, $75,000. Staff requests the board accept the lowest responsible bidder in an amount not to exceed $74,690 at this meeting. So I'd like to make a motion to accept the lowest responsible bid from M&J Asphalt in the amount of $74,690 for completion of the asphalt overlay patching.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion, trustee Messick?
Again, I think we've been through it, and we've got a low responsible bidder. I assume, I said that all's in order, so I would support it.
Any other comments from the board? Trustee Lautner?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is very exciting. We've gone through the last 3 years with the I'll say the major paving project, and with the patching that's going on here. here again, a rough estimate of the percentage of the roads that we have hit over the last 3 years, Brendan? Including the patches here?
Probably 70,
70, 80,
75%
yeah.
of streets.
Okay, a huge percentage of it. Excellent. Very good, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you for bringing that out, trustee Lautner. Okay, Amanda, call the roll.
Trustee Messick?
Yes.
Trustee Rocco?
Yes.
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Zora?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, now I'm serious this time. That concludes public
Thank you,
work.
trustee Messick. Finance Committee, trustee Rocco.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have completed 1 month, or 8% of fiscal year 2019, which began May 1st. The highlights: fiscal year to date, general fund revenue is at 6% of the annual budget and about $36,000 higher than prior year. Sales tax receipts are about 14% higher than last year, while telecommunication taxes are down by 9%. Charges for services are down about $18,000 due to lower ambulance fee receipts. Fine revenue is slightly lower than last year, but above budget. Miscellaneous revenue is higher due primarily to the increase in tower leases. The total general fund expenditures are within expectations at 5% of the annual budget and about $213,000 lower than last year. Most of the decrease is due to the timing of LTAC annual contribution, which was paid in June this year and May last year. And that concludes my report, and there are no action items. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, trustee Rocco. Commercial Revitalization Committee, trustee Zora.
Thank you, Mr. President. Post 031, the first project to receive funding through the TIF and BDD incentive programs, opened at the end of May. Zoning applications for 1201 Barnesdale are currently under review, along with the property owner's request for funding through the TIF and BDD programs. The applications are anticipated to go before the Planning and Zoning Commission in August. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, trustee Zora. Other reports, village clerk,
I have nothing to report, Mr. President.
our village treasurer,
No report tonight, Mr. President.
our village engineer,
No report, Mr. President.
our village attorney.
No report, Mr. President.
Motion to approve committee and collectors' reports.
So move.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I have a couple things, items. Some of us attended the U.S. Central Municipal Conference dinner the other night, the annual dinner, and we're very proud of the recognition that Julia, our village manager, received, and we were very proud of her up there, and she represented our village well. So thank you, Julia, and congratulations again. I attended the Sisters of St. Joseph groundbreaking on Thursday. It was a rainy day, so they held it inside. It was well attended. Julia was there. Chief came. Sisters were very grateful to the village of the Grange Park and for all the work that we helped them with in getting to the point where they're at now. Julie and I attended the Park District Memorial ribbon cutting ceremony on Wednesday. They're very proud of that park. It really turned out really nice after all the time that it took to get there. But it's finished, and the water park is, and we want to keep that water circulating and going. I'm not sure they got their first bill yet, but it's a great water park. Keep it running. I received a thank you from, let me just read it first. Jim, just a special note of thanks to you, the board, Public Works, and everyone else for the new streets in our corner of town. It makes an incredible difference. Great idea, great referendum, great results. Please know we all very much appreciate you and the board's dedication to our village. Please tell them also. So I'm telling you also. Thank you, Jack and Phyllis Bone. So that was very nice. It's nice to receive these thank yous. Two other items I have. One is the Proviso Municipal League. We're having a dinner on Thursday, July 12th. David Orr will be the guest speaker. If anyone's interested in attending, please let Julia know. And then also the Proviso Municipal League Mayor's West Suburban Annual Golf Classic. Anyone is interested, please let me know. Okay, next is public participation of non-agenda related items. Would anyone care to address the board? Are we here for credit or something? Or?
I'm just interested. I do have one question.
Sure, please step up. Oh, Chief, I forgot Chief.
My name is Pat Kushner. I live on the Grange Road. But this morning I tried to get the agenda from the website, and I got the old website.
That's weird.
I called the village and they put me to the new one, which is really quite nice. But the old one must still be up. which might be an issue. If
Good
people are
point.
Trying to find out agendas and information.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Good
Pat.
heads up.
And thank you both for coming tonight on this rainy night. Thank you. Any new business? I'm sorry, we have one thing. Chief?
I just did want to mention, back on May 19th, there was an event held in Barrington, which they called the first ever Home Fire Sprinkler Day. It was a combination of a group called the Home Fire Sprinkler Coalition and the National Fire Protection Association. They've started an initiative years ago, but it kind of keeps evolving for home fire sprinklers. And what they did that day, I was unable to attend. We had like 3 other events going on in the village and other things. And but what they did is they recognized all the towns and fire districts who have adopted the NFPA 13D ordinance, which is the requirement or standard for installing fire sprinklers in 1 and 2 family dwellings. And so as part of that recognition, they presented us a plaque, and this one is, again, with the entire village board on there. And it's kind of just to reemphasize the efforts of having our ordinance in place and continuing to enforce it. If you remember, we adopted ours in 2003. We were the 13th town in Illinois. Now there's about 100 fire districts and towns requiring fire sprinklers in single-family homes. And we had new plans for a home this week, and that'll be our 79th home installed with fire sprinklers. And that's a town where, you know, we only had 1 small subdivision go up, which is pretty good. So I just wanted to, they dropped it off later that week, and just asked that I share it with the board. And so again, it's just reemphasizing those efforts. And obviously from the fire chief's perspective, who, you know, I kind of brought that up back to the board that was here at the time, I appreciate us sticking with it and your support. So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you,
Very
Chief.
nice,
This is
very
quite the honor, and I think it's a true testament to you and your staff and your department and our administrative staff and everyone involved in getting us to this point of recognition. So thank you for all of your hard work and everything that you do for our community. Any new business? Motion to move into executive session?
I make a motion to move into executive session for the purpose of discussing the following: collective bargaining in accordance with 5 ILCS 120/2C, not to return into open session until our next scheduled work session meeting, July 10th, 2018, at 7:30.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Amanda, call the roll.
Trustee Messick?
Yes.
Trustee Rocco?
Yes.
Trustee Lautner?
Yes?
Trustee Zora?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
We'll move into executive session.